up, we joined the closing ceremony of the Global Tzu Chi Media Volunteers Training Seminar in Hualien, Taiwan. In China, Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers care for residents at the Jimei Social Welfare Center. Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. First up, we bring you the story of Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Xiuzhi, who is a shining example of doing good deeds to fulfill filial duties. Huang takes care of her 94-year-old mother almost 24 hours a day, yet still finds time to take part in Tzu Chi's missions.
Helping her mother with her morning routine is Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Xiuzhi. This has been her responsibility for the past 13 years. Huang also knows her mother is a picky eater, so she feeds the senior by the spoonful.
我们就是要趁他们还在的时候。
We need to take care of our parents by giving them a good and comfortable life. If we wait until they have passed on to say, "Oh, I wish I had the time back then to better take care of them," it will be too late.
64-year-old Huang suffers from a genetic heart condition and never got married. On her own, she shoulders the responsibility of taking care of her mother by her mother's side almost 24 hours a day. Huang doesn't forget to get her mother's consent when she leaves to do volunteer work.
Master Zhenyan often says, if you have the will, then nothing is impossible. So even though I take care of my mother, I want to continue to be a Tzu Chi volunteer, so I will schedule my time accordingly to do the things I want to do.
Inside Tzu Chi, Huang looks after the care recipient children like they were her own and seizes all opportunities to give.
The value of a person's life is to use it to its fullest. You should take care of your family and those around you who need your help. This is how to live a meaningful life.
Having to take care of her mother and also make time to be a volunteer, Huang is often burning the candle at both ends. But no matter how busy she may be, Huang enjoys giving of her time.
She takes care of her 94-year-old mother and at the same time takes care of Tzu Chi's care recipient children. So she arranges her time wisely. She is wonderful.
On her bookshelf sits many Jinsi publications books Huang looks to when she reaches a hurdle she can't overcome. This wisdom treasury is also her greatest motivation in continuing to fulfill her filial duties.
As this year marks the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the Tzu Chi Media Team, a global Tzu Chi Media Volunteers Training Seminar was held in Hualien, Taiwan, with 1,081 media volunteers from 11 countries taking part. At the closing ceremony on July 28th, volunteers performed the preface of the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings, as well as vowed to action to express their commitment to Tzu Chi.
Here at the closing ceremony of the Global Tzu Chi Media Volunteers Training Seminar, everyone sincerely expresses their conviction as they sing the prelude to the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings.
This day feels so surreal. I've never imagined there to be such a day. I promise Master Zhenyan that I will remain a devoted media volunteer and help my peers in the recruitment of 1 million Tzu Chi members.
Translating the goodness and beauty of humanity for the past decade, media volunteers have also been inspired with the many stories they have documented.
Before I became a volunteer, I only noticed people's faults. But since I became a media volunteer, inadvertently, I'm always practicing to see the best in people.
Spreading the goodness and beauty of humanity begins with each volunteer. Master Zhenyan expresses her gratitude to all media volunteers worldwide who have captured inspiring moments and preserved them in history.
做摄影、拍照、写文章，这都不只是为了兴趣偏好，不是，绝对不是，人人都是以最虔诚的。用身 心，再承担，再付出。
Preserving history for mankind and establishing a living sutra for Tzu Chi, with a determined commitment to their mission, media volunteers vow to continue to capture and pass on the beauty and goodness of this world through their lenses.
To celebrate the 10th birthday of Tzu Chi Media Team, a ceremony was held in Hualien where participants had a chance to review the achievements of media volunteers and learn from their valuable experiences.
As Tzu Chi volunteers spread their message and love around the world, media volunteers follow them to chronicle their actions. Following the 2004 South Asian tsunami, many volunteers deliver their care and warmth between Singapore and Sri Lanka.
Sometimes I travel with other media volunteers to visit the survivors there, while I also went there alone several times. To be a Tzu Chi volunteer, we have to learn to multitask.
Over the past decade, media volunteers have reported on countless enlightening stories. However, at the same time, they also have faced different challenges, like Tzu Chi volunteer Lu Guishu, whose video footage was turned down by Dai TV 10 times.
There are many moving stories out there that can offer members of the public inspiration. So I think it's important to work hard to improve my skills.
10 years on, media volunteers still share a common purpose, that is to keep working hard in reporting truth, goodness, and beauty, and further purify human hearts around the world.
In our next report, we meet media volunteer Jian Shu-si, who volunteers as a coordinator for all the media volunteers in Changhua County, Taiwan. In the early days, Jian chose to take the night shift of her full-time job in order to handle Tzu Chi's work during daytime. Thanks to Jian's devotion, the number of media volunteers in Changhua has now reached 300.
佛教这两个字呢，就是真正的是觉，佛就是觉吧。
就早期我在誊写上人的录音带的时候，我就
In the early days, I used to transcribe Master Zhenyan's speeches. There was one time I heard her tell a story during which she led several Tzu Chi volunteers to visit care recipients in Hualien's Fengling Township. On the way, it was dark and cloudy, and the rain was pouring down hard. Their bus was stuck in the mud of a creek. As everyone was helping push the bus forward, Master took this photo to capture that moment.
看到了那一张照片以后，我就体悟。
When I saw this photo, I realized that capturing the moment is capturing eternity. Taking photos is a way to capture the moment and record that instant.
早期就是进来的时候，就是会有蛮多。
When I joined Tzu Chi, there was a lot of files to be organized. I remember when I created this logo, which included the photos of all Tzu Chi commissioners and volunteers in Changhua. It took me a month to scan all their photos and put them together. To improve my computer literacy, I later attended National Open University to study information management.
凌晨2点上班，然后7点下班。
I work the night shift at the post office from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. so that I can do Tzu Chi's work during the daytime. After I served as the coordinator of the media volunteers at Changhua chapter, I want to focus on carrying out Tzu Chi's missions. Taking the night shift gives me more time to deal with Tzu Chi's affairs. However, when the events overwhelm, I sometimes have to work 20 hours without rest.
拍下来或者是录下来，还要做好图像管理。
只要你甘心做每一件事情，你都。
If you are willing to do something, you don't feel tired at all. I treat each volunteer as my family because I want to look after everyone and to unite them together. I think it is important to build that sense of unity and family ties.
像妈妈一样。
Sister Jian is like a mom looking after all of us. She always thinks of others before herself. Sometimes we just can't bear to see her so tired.
早期从3、4位菩萨到。
It has been a long way from 3 volunteers to now 300. I hope to see myself serving as a role model, leading all Tzu Chi volunteers in cultivating our spiritual life and accomplishing Tzu Chi's missions together.
On May, November, and December of 2012, dead Formosan fairy badgers were found in central Taiwan, and after extensive tests in July of this year, results show that they were infected with rabies. Soon after, a man in Taidong County was bitten by a rabbit ferret, proof that the disease has started to spread in wild animals around Taiwan. This sick fairy badger is one of the 3 ferrets that were found to be infected with rabies in Taiwan. Last year, this wild animal was found in Yuchi Township, Namtou, and was sent to the Endemic Species Research Institute in Jiji Town. At first, the veterinarians thought that it was just probably poison.
The Formosan fairy badger was very weak. In the past, the first thing that comes to our mind is that it probably ate rat poison or an animal that was poisoned.
Even though the ferret was given detox, it still passed away in 2 days. Seeing the unusual death of the ferret, it was later sent to Taipei for further examination, and the results were shocking.
We were shocked when we saw the result. It is hard to predict and explain why rabies has occurred again.
Very soon after, various related departments began establishing rabies prevention measures. Yet a dead ferret was later found around Sun Moon Lake, one of the nation's top tourist attractions.
It will be really scary if rabies spreads across Taiwan once again.
To make the situation worse, on July 23rd, Mr. Huang in Taidong County was bitten by the rabbit Formosan fairy badger. After examination, Mr. Huang was vaccinated and given a shot of antibody to prevent rabies.
We want to prevent the rabies from occurring, and we don't think that this disease will spread from human to human.
Last year in May, November, and December, dead ferrets were found in Nantou County's Lugu, Yunlin County's Gukeng, and Nantou County's Yuchi. After extensive examination in July of this year, the 3 Formosan fairy badgers tested positive for rabies. Very soon after, Taiwan lost its rabies-free status on July 17th. On July 23rd, a man in Taidong was bitten by a fairy badger that also tested positive for rabies, showing that the virus has started to spread from central to eastern Taiwan.
I think the rabies was brought to Taiwan by the illegal import of wild animals that were brought by restaurants, since customers are always looking for food that is different or unusual.
Experts says that all warm-blooded animals, carnivores, and mammals are vulnerable to rabies. When dealing with wild animals such as fairy badger, masked palm civet, crab-eating mongoose, and others, the general public and especially animal rescue workers should take extra precautions.
We need to take good care of our health, or we need to get more people with rabies vaccine.
Staff member of the Forest Bureau, Mr. Zheng, says that he is most afraid of the stray dogs found on the mountain.
There are a lot of stray dogs in the mountain, and it really bothers me. I can only run away when I see them.
Experts also said that wild animals such as fairy badgers are afraid of people most of the time. However, once infected by rabies, they would tend to act aggressively, increasing the chances that they will attack people or other animals. Therefore, when encounter a fairy badger that is not afraid of people, one should stay away and get treatment as soon as possible if bitten or scratched. Moving to China every month, Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers visit the Jimei Social Welfare Center, which cares for seniors as well as those suffer from disabilities. As it is the summer holidays, many young volunteers joined Tzu Chi volunteers during the July visit. The children's visit gave the seniors a chance to enjoy some grandchildren time, and at the end of the event, everyone left with smiles on their faces.
In China, volunteers have just arrived at the Xiamen Jimei Social Welfare Center, and 10-year-old volunteer Li Xingyi and 82-year-old resident Chen Qiulin are already becoming fast friends. Although this is the first time the two have met, their friendship has kindled quickly. Playing games with Grandpa Chen and giving him a massage, it's hard to tell this is the first time young volunteer Li has joined her mother in visiting the center. Li is also glad to be spending time with a grandfather figure.
My grandfather is very busy and doesn't have time to spend with me, so I'm glad to be spending so much time today with a grandfather here at the service center.
This child is very well-mannered and polite. A few of the residents are 80-some years old already, but she is still willing to spend time with us. We feel very happy to be in her company.
Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers schedule visits, bring much entertainment and laughter to the center as the residents enjoy the time spent with the volunteers. During the visit, besides bringing joy to the seniors' hearts, many first-timer volunteers have come away with a new view on life.
Today, we are not just here to assist the seniors. These residents are a mirror for us. It reflects our actions and helps me see that I can be a more loving and encouraging person towards others.
Our filial actions towards our parents shouldn't be just about giving living expenses or a house to live in. This event has given me fuel for thought. I think this is a positive message to spread, and I should motivate others around me to fulfill their filial duties. Thank you.
One does not have to be related to show care for another, as a simple smile and a warm gesture can go a long way.
Living in Miaoli County, Taiwan, is senior Zhao Wulie, a great-grandfather. The senior spent many years raising his grandchildren. Unfortunately, when sickness hit Zhao, none of his family was there to support him. Fortunately, Tzu Chi was there to help, and to reciprocate, Zhao now spends his free time helping out at the nursing home.
I have heart and stomach problems. I suffer from gastric bleeding and also am anemic.
Sick in most of his organs, Zhao Wulie also suffers from gout.
It was caused by too much drinking. Now, as a result of the gout, I can't open my hand.
Now Zhao has claws instead of hands.
会有那吃药吗？
有吃药，每天都有吃药。
吃那个高胆固醇的东西，内脏啊，那个很容易就长这个痛风。
Giving up cigarettes and alcohol, as well as adjusting his diet, the senior has grown healthier.
感谢你们大家
A big thanks to the volunteers for helping me out so much.
帮我那么多忙了。
5 years ago, Uncle Zhao was living in his home in the mountains. After falling seriously ill, since his family had no money to pay for his treatment, it was the Tzu Chi Foundation that helped him and found him a place in this nursing home.
慢慢吃，我吃饱了，肚子饿了又点心又还早哦。
His hands don't stop him as Zhao feeds a fellow resident spoonful by spoonful.
你这个手会很痛吗？会哦。你们两个都一样，你看，我有些吃饭也是很不方便的。
Zhao works with his own sickness as he takes care of the sickness of others.
Look at this courtyard. It is huge. Uncle Zhao is always there to help sweep up and keep it clean. We frequently have to keep the front doors closed. However, when Uncle Zhao is outside resting, he will watch over the door and open it when needed.
Although sick and old himself, Zhao has become a source of support for many.
Even though he was abandoned by his family, who provided him with no medical help, he still holds onto a heart of forgiveness and will travel back to his old home to visit his family.
Zhao returns to find the roof of his house collapse following the last typhoon.
I'm so happy that my grandchildren, great-grandson, and daughter-in-law are okay. Sometimes they will be scared as they don't have anyone to accompany them.
Although his health is not that great, he will still come back to see us.
Among Zhao's grandchildren is this one, now 17 years old. Suffering from cerebral palsy, he has the faculties of a 5-year-old.
When he was younger, I told him how to walk, how to climb, and fed him. Now every time I come home, he will sleep with me at night. He likes me a lot.
As Zhao has come to learn, in the passing of days, happiness is found in the moment.
Tzu Chi volunteers and Tzu Chings in South Africa recently came together to organize a Tzu Ching introductory seminar in English for local youth volunteers. The 3-day event was organized in hopes of inviting more young people who are non-Chinese speakers to get to know the Buddhist NGO. And these students put their creativity to the test by incorporating Tzu Chi's history and ideal into a rap song.
Born with an amazing vocal range, local Tzu Chings are singing their love for Tzu Chi.
Started from Taiwan with my whole team, Sushi, started from the 60s, now we're here.
And students of the Tzu Ching training seminar make up a rap song with Tzu Chi's history and ideals. As the Buddhist NGO Seeds of Love flourished in the Hualien province, Tzu Chings are able to call on more young people to join their ranks.
Also, Master Chen Yang. Yes, we say, we love you, Tzu Chi.
After participating in the Tzu Ching Community Training Seminar in April, many students hoped to introduce the organization to those speaking different languages, thus inspiring Tzu Chi volunteers to hold a seminar in English. In the 3-day events, participants not only learn to keep their environment clean, but also find joy in cleaning the streets around the community.
It's good to receive the uniform because I can see that my hard work, it's been recognized. Somebody can see that I'm doing something by helping people, not with money, but with the love that I have. And my hard work, just working with my hands and with my feet, I can change a person's life.
Among these young volunteers, 10 are receiving their uniform, which symbolizes their commitment to join Tzu Chi's ranks in making a difference.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show. After attending the Global Tzu Chi Media Volunteers Training Seminar, 143 trainees decided to stay in Hualien to attend other workshops to help them better document Tzu Chi's history in the future. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Thai Headlines. Goodbye.